everybody. My name is CALYL CECILIO. Konnichiwa. This is my audience members. I'm going to be giving you my speech about my informative speech about life in Okinawa. And at this point, they're going to introduce themselves, starting with Arlene to my left.
Hello, my name is Arlene. I am in the military, and I was required here to move here from the military to Okinawa.
Okay, what do you like or what don't you like about the Okinawan culture?
I enjoy the food here. It is quite awesome. I'm a big sushi person, and ramen is delicious.
Okay.
I don't have anything I dislike about the island.
Okay. Next to her is Alan.
Hi, my name is Nikita. I moved here because I'm in the military, so I got orders to come here. I guess you could say that the Okinawan people, what's the word? They're polite.
Very
they're,
polite,
They're
okay.
their own culture. But me, when I go to the store, all I get is no. So that's what I don't like. That's my dislike.
What's your dislike again? Say it again.
That whenever I go anywhere, they always tell me no.
They always tell you no. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty common throughout the culture because of the language barrier, right? Next would be Jamie.
My name is Jamie, and I moved to Okinawa because I'm in the military and it was required. And I'd have to say that the Okinawan people are really respectful, and so far I've seen that they're really helpful. So there is a language barrier, which is one problem, but aside from that, Okinawa's pretty good.
Pretty good. Overall? Good. Next we have Victor, last but not least.
How you doing? My name is Victor. I was also required to move here to Okinawa because I'm in the military. I really like the island of Okinawa. It has beautiful beaches, a lot of good features. People are very polite, very respectful, and the food here is also really good. Love ramen, and it's a great time to be here.
Okay. With that being said, Arlene, how long have you been on the island?
I've been here for 2 years, going on 3.
2 years, going on 3.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. Jamie?
2 months.
2 months.
And then it'll be a year in December, so almost a year.
A year in December. So as you can see, everybody's been here around the same time. Roughly, everybody's been here for almost a year. I actually PCS from here and go back to the States in December 2nd, so I'll be leaving here shortly in about 2 months. Alright? So, as stated before, everybody's experienced the Okinawan culture, right? Whether they like it or not, they've been here for quite some time to experience it. They like the food. Victor said right here he liked the beaches, and it has a lot of great features. Myself personally, life in Okinawa I can say is pretty good. The people are very polite, they're very nice, they're very gentle, they're very respectful people. The only thing that gets in the way between Americans and Japanese people, if we all agree, is, like I said, the language barrier. Alright? But I think we've been here long enough on the actual island, Americans in general, for them to kind of adapt. They know certain words like stop, no, yes, and for the Americans, actually for our branch in the military, which is the Army, they were required to take a class called Head Start. Head Start is a class where when you first come into the island, they give you a quick class on the do's and don'ts about the Japanese culture, as well as, you know, how to speak the language. Not like I said, it's a crash course about the language. You're not going to be able to read a whole book based off of this course, but you'll be able to understand, and you'll be able to talk to people, you know, in short little phrases and sentences. Okay, but like I said, my speech is about life in Okinawa, and based off of the traditions they're very rich in tradition. Okay, in Okinawa you'll find a lot of festivals. All right, they like to uphold their rich culture by doing a lot of festivals. They do something with this big tug of war down in the capital of Okinawa, which is Naha. Every year they go down there and they invite as many volunteers as they can. There's about 40 people on each side of the tug of war, and the rope is about this big. We all agree? And then everybody gets on one side and they all pull on that tug of war. At the end of that event, what they do is they cut a piece of the rope and they give it out to everybody that volunteered. They're also rich in bowing. Bowing is sort of like a form of respect. They don't believe in shaking hands. So what they tell Americans is, if you're in doubt, instead of shaking their hands, bow. Okay, the longer the bow, the more respect you get. You usually won't get this kind of bow if you're going into a, let's say, 7-Eleven. If you're going to go into 7-Eleven and purchase a stick of gum, you're not going to get that bow. Okay? When they say bow, you're probably going to get this kind of bow if you make a big purchase. Okay? If you go to one of these stores and spend over $1,000 or $1,500, you guys are going to get a very long bow. Okay? Also, what's common and what's uncommon to Americans, but very common in the Japanese culture, is the fact that they don't require tips. Okay, what I mean by that is if we eat at a restaurant, all of us have eaten outside in the economy before, right? If you eat at a restaurant, that restaurant, whoever your waiter or waitress is you're not required to give a tip. Okay? So it's very disrespectful in their eyes. It's very disrespectful for them if you do receive a tip. So we just try to keep it, simple. As soon as you get your check, just leave up out of there. Okay. Also, every year the Okinawans exchange gifts. All right. It's not just part of Christmas, but they do it every year. Okay. That's part of their culture, and they like to incorporate that every year. Like I said, just to uphold their tradition and just to pass it on to their generations and their families. Speaking of families. Male and females are highly respected, morally. So if the older the person is, the more respected they are, and the level of respect. For example, an older female, like a great-grandmother, will be more so very well respected because she's been through a lot, and she's higher up there in the echelons of respect. Same thing. Now, for a younger male or a younger female, for example, they won't be as respected because in their eyes, in their culture, they still have a lot to learn. Okay? Now I'd like to close out our session about my introductory speech and ask you guys a couple of questions about the Okinawan culture. Is there any questions or anything, any input you would like to have about the Okinawan culture or add on?
I know that when you have the tug of war and you cut off a piece of the rope and stuff like that, you're supposed to keep it in your car for like a year, or not even your car, but your car or your house or whatever, and it's supposed to give you good luck for like that whole year that you keep it.
Okay, I didn't know that. How about you, Alan? Is there anything that you would like to incorporate as far as the Okinawan culture?
No.
Okay. How about you, Jamie? No? Victor?
Some of the restaurants there, they only use chopsticks, so it's really a neat way to learn how to use chopsticks instead of forks and knives like we do back in the States. So it's a really good skill that you can use chopsticks.
Okay. Okay, good skill so we can use chopsticks. Eating with chopsticks is very easy. It might not be as easy in the beginning, but as you do it more often, as you go out into these restaurants, it gets easier, right? Well, that concludes my speech. That concludes my audience members. It was nice giving you this class, and hopefully I'll get a good grade.